Hi guys, welcome back to another devlog for Foot Joust. I know it's been a few months since there was a major update and a devlog on the game, but I hope you've enjoyed the alternative content in the meantime. In the last video we went over how I plan on monetizing the game and the implementation of loot crates. So the next step is to expand on that by creating and designing our own shop system, the items that go into the shop, and our loot crate opening game mode. So to get things started, I created this debug tool here in the corner that I can drop into any scene if I need. When I click it, it gives me the option to manually enter how much XP and how many coins we want. This will make future testing a lot easier. So at the moment, the enemy selection screen is still a mess and a pain to use, and the implementation behind the scenes with a lot of spaghetti code and manual data entry that kind of gets messed up really quick due to my early days of learning game dev. So in a previous video, I covered dynamically filling the reward box at the end of the player's run using a class system and thought this might be the best solution. I then spent several hours over the next couple days thinking about ways to go about this, searching for a better solution, procrastinating, and looking at other tutorials on shop systems. I really want to be able to streamline the whole process and just be able to enter the data, edit items, and add new ones into the game in the future right in the editor with no problems and without any issues. After I decided that using the same class system before would still be the best option, I went ahead and planned exactly what I needed. I first started with what crates I want to be in the game. I designed this quick spreadsheet of all the data that's needed for them. First, we need an item ID, the name, the cost of the item to buy, a description for the player to understand what they're buying, the amount the player has to destroy before they unlock it in the store, how many of that particular crate the player has broken, and how many the player currently has in their inventory. So here's what we need to do. Once we create our class system like this, we will need to create an item manager. This will be an in-game object in the inspector where we can fill out all the relevant details of each crate in an array. Next, we will need to make a shop manager, which will be responsible for instantiating a prefab button dynamically into the box and sending it an ID of what item in our array of the crate it needs to fill in next. Each button will use the ID it was given to look up in the item manager all the information it needs to fill out the rest. It will do this one by one until each item is completed and filled out in the shop. I also created these icons for each of the loot boxes for each sprite. After putting it all together, when it runs, they will all appear. Now when the button is clicked, it will process the information under the shop manager to see if the player has the right amount of funds before talking to the item manager and update how many the player has in their inventory. The next thing I did was make the items that are still locked appear as a secret. To unlock these for purchase in the store, the player must break a certain amount in a normal gameplay run. When a player has broken none, they will appear as a secret like this. When a player has broken only a few, it will appear like this, and it will show you how many you have left to break before you can buy one. So now it's time to fill in the empty space with what items the player already has in their inventory. If the player has 0, they won't display anything, and will only show what they have. So for now, we'll just enter in a bunch of random data into the item manager and make them appear just like this. So the next part, I was going to work on the loot box mode where you get to run through and smash all the crates that you've actually bought. But as I started to plan, think, and analyze about how I could do this, I realized that there were way too many dependencies going on with the normal gameplay that I need some more time to create it. Because I don't have enough time to complete it before I'm supposed to edit this video, I moved back to further updating the shop system. As before, when you buy an item in the store, it wouldn't actually update in the inventory box yet. So now it does, and it pops up at the top of the list with this little exclamation mark to show you that it's new. The other item you'll be able to buy in the store will be the power-up runes that appear in some chests. So I created a new class for them and implemented the same way into the store as we did with the crates. Earlier this week, I created the small animation and sprite for the template of each power-up. So for now, we will just have this one blank one in the store for testing, because I'm still in the process of designing and coming up with what kind of power-ups I want to put in the game. If you have any cool ideas for power-ups, or there's anything you want to see in the game, let me know below in the comments. That pretty much does it for this week. In the next one, we will cover the actual gameplay mode for loot boxes. If you made it through to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. Now that I have a few side projects and other videos out of the way, I will be sticking to this Foot Joust series for a while again before sidetracking. So make sure you stick around for them, and I will see you again next week.